Boy, oh boy. After 2 weeks gone, and after attending Summer Games Fest, I think we have a very packed around the bush today. I mean, lots of anime game news, and I'll go over all the games that I can talk about. I can't talk about every game that I played, but I'll go over the games that I can talk about that I had the pleasure of playing at Summer Games Fest. But first and foremost, I mean, finally, Naruto Storm Connections happened. It finally happened. I finally played it, and I'm here to talk about it. All of your questions will be answered in today's Around the Bush, baby. Hello, everybody! Welcome back. It's Rene. Rene's in the house. Hi. How's it going?
Yo, it's going well. I didn't play Storm Connections, so I'll be asking questions as well, like you guys. Excited for this episode because, yeah, we had a bit of a busy week since you came back. We discussed a bit, but I'm actually looking forward to go more in depth of what I think, what you think, and go over the mechanics that you learned and all that you played during Summer Games Fest.
Bro, yeah, we're gonna start with Naruto X Boruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Connections, and this was a 30-minute demo where I got to play against the producers. Now, a lot of people have asked me some questions that I do not have the answer to, because you cannot just go there and you go, oh, can I go into practice mode and try stuff out? No, you can't. No, you can't. You play against the producers and you figure stuff out. That's how it goes. And yeah, I think most of the experience, I mean, I talked about it in the video, which I believe most of you have watched that video at this point. But just to recap, there are a few very big differences from Naruto Storm 4 to Storm Connections. That said, I don't think it's any difference that actually justifies a sequel so far. All of these differences are like, balance patch, you know? We just decided to go crazy in a new season of DLC, and we made all these crazy changes. Does it justify a sequel? Not yet. I don't think so, but it will feel different at a competitive level for sure.
You know, in a way, I agree with you, but also I think it will depend on how much the jutsu will change. But each character having a new jutsu, and are we talking like how many characters are we talking? 100 characters?
So they didn't give them a new jutsu. They just basically changed the input for the tilt. So you used to have a tilt ability if you just like tilt the left stick and hit the attack button, and now there's a second jutsu, which for the old characters it's that tilt animation. So it's weird because tilt used to be something that you can do defensively. So like if you are in a block string and there's a small gap, tilt is one of the few actions that you can actually do to get out of that block string. And some tilts just get you out of it. Others just start the action, and that's enough for you to like switch and go into a counter or something, you know? So I'm not sure if like the tilts retain these properties or if now it's a jutsu and it has jutsu properties. From my guess is that it has jutsu properties. So it's not something that you're going to be using out of a block string.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But,
so it was something that was already previously in the game, but it might have different properties.
Yeah, definitely. So right now in the game, I mean, you're familiar with jutsu switching, right? You throw a jutsu, you switch to another character, and the jutsu stays on stage. So fireball characters, for instance, are very popular because of this, because you throw a fireball, you switch, and you just dash behind the fireball, free neutral, right? With tilts, you can't really do that, with most tilts at least, because you do a tilt, and when you switch, the character doing the tilt disappears. But now, something I actually tested is you can do the second jutsu, which is the old tilt, and you can switch, and it will stay on stage. Which is why I think, ultimately, tilts are gone, essentially. Even though the animation is still there, their properties are definitely jutsu properties. And yes, they do cost chakra. So tilts used to be free, but now, because they're jutsu, they do cost chakra. But one of the biggest changes of the entire game is just chakra regenerates for free. And in Storm 4, it already regenerated for free, but the rate, like, it is night and day. Like, it's nothing to do. It regenerates so much. I don't think you'll be stopping and manually charging very often.
How wrong were we when we animated the chakra regenerating?
You're pretty accurate. I think the jutsu cost was too high. You were like, damn, a jutsu costs 50% of a bar. But But with like the pause and the regen, you guys were pretty accurate. In fact, this might be early access and maybe like stuff that is not meant to be shown, but I'll do it anyway because I don't think he'll be mad at me. Me and Playco are putting together a mod. Where we are gonna try to get as close to Naruto Storm Connections as I can remember it. And it's been sending some stuff. Let me see if I open this link. Nope. Okay. Well, I guess it opens here. So here's a great example. He modded Storm 4, and there's a big pause, as you can see, and then chakra regenerates roughly at this speed. So that's, let me maybe loop this so you can see it. How do you loop this? Repeat forever. All right, so chakra is going to be spent. Boom, boom. Pause. About 5 seconds, we're guessing, and then regenerates like this. So I'm working for memory though, so it could be different, and we are gonna update this once we get to Anime Expo, because more people are gonna play it, and they'll probably come back with like accurate data, because someone's gonna like stand in front of that thing and time this, and we can patch it out later. But we're gonna release a build that is as close as I can remember to Storm Connections to let players try it out and get a feel for it, most of all.
That's cool. That's gonna be cool. I'm actually looking forward to see what it does, because I believe, yeah, the changes are like none of them seem very significant, but adding all up, I think it's gonna change a lot of how the game is played. And not only that, and this is something that you're gonna talk to us in a bit, but what you mentioned in the video, that each of the new characters seems like it's built for a new game, and that is so interesting.
Yeah. So a lot of the combos that we're seeing in these trailers. First of all, I think there's something that people are not thinking about in their analysis, which is the simple control scheme. I think a lot of these trailers are, like a lot of these combos are made with simple controls. And there is, I think, a Kawaki combo. It's in the B-roll, right? In the B-roll that they sent us. Let me quickly find it. Is the B-roll in the...
Archive.
In the cloud? Archive?
It should be in archive, yeah.
Okay. Archive, Naruto Storm Connections, and Reskit? Videos? English. Is that it?
That should be it,
Yeah, okay. So you got some combos. I think all of this stuff, like, it's been on multiple channels at this point, so it's fine. Let me just do after... Repeat, don't repeat forever. Okay. So a lot of these combos, they seem done with straight up simple controls. And I'm going to break down maybe like one of these combos here with Kawaki, and how you would do it with simple controls versus how you would do it with traditional controls. So we got a couple new ults. We got Jigen's combo. Where's the Kawaki combo? There you go. Okay. So Kawaki here, he's going to do combo into jutsu. You cancel combo into jutsu, that's fine. You can do that right now in the game. He dash cancels the jutsu. I think this is new. You were not able to dash cancel jutsu, or at least not all jutsu. And now it seems like you can just dash cancel every jutsu.
That would spend meter, right?
Yeah. And it's more than a normal dash. You can see like the golden, this is called the golden chakra dash. So see this golden aura? So this means you canceled an action, which means it's a more expensive chakra dash. Yeah, spark dash, says Playco. Nice. So, and here we go. This is what I want you to see. So we go from jutsu into dash cancel, but this dash cancel was so instant that it just blocks instantly after the dash cancel, canceling the dash, and goes into ultimate. Here's how this works if you are playing on normal controls. So after the jutsu, you gotta hit triangle plus dash for the dash. You gotta hit block, and then you gotta hit triangle plus attack for the ultimate. So we're talking after the jutsu, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inputs. I don't think he's doing 6 inputs here in this fraction of a second. I think because simple controls are a completely different control scheme, The way you do chakra dash is you hold block plus jump. And he keeps holding block, which cancels the dash. And the way you do ultimate is just block plus triangle. So I think he's just holding block, pressing dash triangle. I think that's it. So from basically going from 6 inputs to holding a button and 2 inputs. And I think that's how he's able to, they're able to like do this cancel so fast. Like boom. That's crazy, right? That's 6 inputs right there.
You know what is interesting, and we are in an era where fighting games are changing control schemes and having the simple option, or the modern, as Street Fighter calls it, where it changes to help people who are starting the game out, but in a way it takes stuff away. So in my opinion, so that pros don't abuse a DP being done by one button, for example. To be fair, I think this control scheme, there might be something here. Like this might have some broken stuff. Straight up. Here's the thing though. I think even for marketing purposes, calling this simple control scheme is not a good idea, because people are thinking about this as if this was the way to help new players come into the game and press less buttons. No, I believe this is a new control scheme. It's not even like a simple control scheme. It shouldn't be called like that. I believe this should be called the control scheme for the game.
Right.
This is the new thing. They are building a new type of game, a new type of combos, a new type of cancels.
But you can't take away classic, right?
Exactly.
I think Street Fighter did it in a very clever way, like called it classic or modern. I think like no one playing modern. I mean, there is like a negative association, but that comes from the community, not from the name. The name simple immediately says, "Oh, you can't play this game." Right?
Yeah, this is for noobs.
You need simple controls. Right?
Exactly. That's what I mean. I feel like there's a negative vibe to this name that, if they just call it modern, because honestly, I think this is what they want people to play with. I think the modern, the simple controls, the modern controls, this is what they intend for people to play, because they're creating these new mechanics and these new ways of making combos that probably won't work as well with the classic control scheme.
We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, it does feel like looking at the combos that they're presenting in the B-roll and in the trailers, and having played with simple controls, I feel like these characters are definitely built for simple controls. And I think you will be able to do all of this. It's just a lot more effort, and at some point you're going to be asking yourself, why am I doing this? When I could just do simple. Now, there was one thing that kind of pissed me off with simple controls that I couldn't do, but maybe that's just like muscle memory and getting used to it. So when you're attacking, let's say you're comboing, right? You're comboing a dude, the dude subs out, and he's behind you now. My usual reaction is jump, cancel, and block. Because if they dash me, I jump, block, and I punish them.
Yeah.
The way I do that is I hold block first and then jump. But holding block and jumping is chakra dash in simple controls. So I couldn't just jump and block, I would just counter dash them.
I see.
Yeah. But I think it's still possible to do that if you like jump and then block.
The timing, so here's the thing, in a perfect scenario, I think it's very fine. I think reacting with a jump block is fine. But we know that playing this game online is not a perfect scenario, and in fact, it's quite far from it. So I can see it being frustrating for you not to be able to do that and getting dashes instead of hair blocks. But I think it's mostly just, getting used to it. But yeah, we're going to get pissed playing this online for sure. That's going to happen. One way or another. If it isn't because of the new way you block or dash, it's going to be another thing. So
yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, counters being free is another big change. I mean, I think I don't understand the counter change, because we came from Storm Revolution where it was too strong, and they heard that feedback and they went, okay, let's make it weaker in Storm 4. And I don't think the complaints ever went away. I don't think anyone was like, oh, now it's too weak. It still used a decent amount. And now they just made it free, and you get a combo from it. So it's not a free combo. You can sub out of it, but I do think with the way chakra regeneration works now, there's just going to be a lot more stuff that you just cannot get out of. Like you cannot get out of block pressure because you don't have tilt anymore. You cannot get out of like over aggression because chakra's always regenerating. Like resource management is not as big of a thing. So you're going to be using subs a lot more. And maybe that's why they made counter free, because they felt like, oh, we need a defensive mechanic. But like that's a first touch mechanic, you know? And counter is powerful. But in my opinion, counter should always be like a high risk, high reward sort of mechanic. And it is punishable if you do it and whiff it, or it would be punishable if there wasn't switch. So you can counter switch, you're safe.
I think I just wanted to comment on the simple controls. Your explanation of the thing that made you mad, I'm kind of interested. I think I want to try. I think I want to try the game on the. We shouldn't call it simple. We should just call it the connection controls. I think that's what they should do. Like, because it makes easy things to connect. But the changes to me, overall, as a person who played it a lot, I would say the game is going to be very more, I guess, aggressive in a way.
Yeah. To
where, like, if people that don't play Storm, I can see it having a negative effect where people will potentially, like, maybe complain about it if you're not, like, you know, the people in the competitive space. That's generally how it is. But I think the biggest thing that weirds me out about it is tilts being gone. Now, again, if you play Storm, every tilt's not good. But for some characters, it helped characters get out of certain block strings, and especially some characters just had cheap, like, plus normals that just could break guard and they'll just keep doing it, like the jump guard thing you'll see for like a certain Sarada, certain PTS Soccer, characters like that. It's interesting that they got rid of tilts, and I think a lot of players are going to feel weirded out early on that tilts are gone and it's the second jutsu. So I feel like what's interesting about connections is that it will be a different learning curve to adjusting to what we've been playing for, at least depending on how long you're playing, 10 years. But I think here it could change up how the game fundamentally looks and plays in defense.
Yeah, and I think one of the big questions I have, and like if people are going to Anime Expo, I'd love to see this question answered. Can you still use those abilities out of block, even though they're the second jutsu now? Do they retain those tilt properties, or is it something you cannot do in small block string gaps anymore? That would be an awesome question to finally have answered, for sure.
Here's my question, and this is coming obviously from someone who has played Storm story mode only. Never tried this game, even online, honestly. I think that, and I could be totally wrong, but one of my issues with this game is how many mistakes you can make, right? All your mistakes are not necessarily punished because you have substitutions. I think having a game where the stakes are much higher when you lose neutral because you start blocking and now you're fucked, I think it creates a much more interesting game, because you still have substitutions, of course. We still don't like substitutions. But at least the stakes are higher for neutral, and I love neutral in fighting games. It's my favorite part of playing a fighting game. It's winning the neutral.
Right.
It will probably make players be so much more careful when approaching, because if you block,
I disagree. With chakra regeneration the way it is, you're not going to be more careful. I think it's going to be a lot more of a momentum-based game, and the momentum can just shift like that if someone lands a counter.
I see, yeah.
But the more I think about this game, the more I think blocking is a mistake. You block the first hit, you're screwed. Your guard's getting broken. There's no way out of it.
Yeah.
See, the big thing here that's changed is since we have second jutsus, and they use chakra, right? So in that case, guard pressure is gonna be crazy in this game. Like, and I'm like what Glob said, like blocking. Like I'm gonna be terrified.
There's gonna be
blocking
guaranteed.
in this
There's
game.
gonna be guaranteed guard breaks. Like I have no doubt. If tilt does not work, I mean the second jutsu does not work like tilts did, there will be guaranteed guard breaks. Mark my words.
Yeah, I think what's even scarier is characters that have like attack 1 and 2s that can be jump canceled and just repeated over and over in guard pressure.
Yeah, and those were the small gaps. Those were the small gaps where you would tilt out, right? And I think that's just gone now.
How many resources would you need to have that guaranteed zero resources.
Attack,
So that's
attack,
just
jump,
guaranteed.
cancel, attack, 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 jump, cancel, attack. That will break your guard now.
Okay. Yeah, that's bad. That's bad. Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, for a lot of characters. Now it's character specific, but if you don't have one of those characters, I mean, there's Switch, there's Ninjutsu, there's Ninja Tool still. I don't know. It's you're gonna have guard broken like after blocking the first attack without any escape. That's my theory. If tilts are not, or if the second jutsu does not share the tilt properties anymore.
Here's the thing: when you get guard broken, you have the sub, right?
Not for a while. Every stun in the game removes your subs for a little bit. So the guard break removes the subs for a little bit. The counter used to in Revolution. It does not in connections. It staggers you, but you can sub first hit. So in Storm 4, it's basically just the guard break and the guard break and breaking a guard. Basically,
I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm gonna be honest. It's just sounding good to me because it's like you lost neutral. It's as if there's no blocking in this game. Let's imagine there's no blocking in this game. You get hit, you're gonna get punished, and you can't even sub out. I kind of like that. I'm, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I try the game and it doesn't feel good. But like as a general idea, this seems much more of a high stakes game than it was before because you even lose. Now that you mentioned that you lose the sub for a bit. I kind of like it, man. I like you lose neutral and you're gonna get comboed. You can't even sub out. I think I like that.
You use the counter to escape jail. The same way you can use the counter to escape jail right now in Storm 4, I believe. Unless they changed it. So that's something I did not test. But the gap that you need to use counter is a much bigger gap than you need to use a tilt currently. So we'll see. I think, there are situations where you're going to block something unsafe and you're going to punish it still. But in most of those situations, you could just as easily counter and get a bigger reward. I don't know. It's
yeah.
I did have a lot of fun. I will say that like playing this game was a lot of fun because it just felt like, oh, they're just giving me free chakra. I can just keep going crazy, and like that's fun. And combos, like it feels like you actually have combos now instead of, I don't know, whatever we did in Storm 4. Because combo system in Storm 4 is weird. Now it feels like you have some freedom, and a lot of it I did by accident. It's gonna be a lot more fun once like we actually lab the game and we're like, oh, this knockdown, you can combo into this, and this, oh, that's sick.
The thing is, so looking at these combos that we have the footage for, this sounds so much more fun than anything I've ever seen for Storm in terms of combos. But then you actually have to weigh in the fact that you can sub out. You probably won't see these combos a lot. Maybe I'm wrong, but these combos are super cool to watch, but maybe people will just sub out, because that's the way Storm goes. Another thing that I just thought, and that's kind of a counterpoint to my idea of this sounding more fun, is the characters that can guard break will immediately be so much stronger than the others. So that will probably eliminate half the roster. I don't know. I don't know if how many characters can guard break for free like that. Yeah. But that's a balance issue that they're creating for themselves.
Yeah, and I think like Jutsu are going to be a lot more valued. Jutsu is already very valued in like how much a character rises on the tier list. And now you have 2 Jutsu and you have free chakra, which means you're going to do the Jutsu a lot more often and in different situations. I think Jutsu are going to be a lot more valued for like a character's place on the tier list for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, with that said, I don't know if there's anything else. I think we're going to stay like on Storm Connections for like an hour before we move on to other topics. And there are a lot of other topics to talk about, but I know this is like the main thing. So yeah, look at all these tabs. We got all this, but we'll go over that during the second hour maybe. Because I know you guys are just dying to talk about more Storm Connections. And we'll take care of questions now instead of at the end of the show. For this game specifically, because there's going to be a lot, and some of them I'll be able to answer, other not. But let's go.
I have a question.
Okay.
And this is not really, important to the game, but cool. You mentioned you fought the devs. Who won? I want to know.
1-1 with the Japanese producer and 2-0 against the American producer. So. I decided to end things in a draw against the Japanese producer because I was not being kind, and like, it's weird, right? Because like, when I show them issues that were in Storm 4 and I try them out and I'm like, this shit's still here, like, it kind of says you guys didn't play the game, right? It indirectly says that, and it puts me in an awkward position where like I'm trying to develop a better relationship so like we can talk and improve these things. So when it was 1-1, I'm like, we better stop here. Now, to be fair, they did listen to feedback and they were like asking to learn like Switch tech, and like they looked at the chakra thing and they were like, oh, that's not supposed to happen. I showed them infinites and they were like, oh, it's fine. You have substitutions. I knew that was the answer.
Yeah.
But the chakra thing, they were very much like, oh, can you show me how to do that? And the producer for Storm Connections from Bandai Namco Japan, it's a new person I've never seen before. Very young person too. So yeah, it's very possible that this person was never involved with like the Storm games in the past, and like they're coming in fresh, they're new to the series, maybe even, so like cut them some slack, I guess, because maybe they're new to the company and they just got this job and like they're trying to make the best of it, and they just ran into a community like the Storm community that is like, you haven't fixed the game yet, you know, like let's try to work together to make the game better. I think being cooperative is a better attitude to have. But yeah, the American producer did not stand a chance, and the Japanese producer was not bad. So 1-1 against that guy.
Okay, cool. Also, just something that popped to mind. What's the expectation for a new build at Gamescom? You think we'll have it?
At Gamescom,
So
I think they'll send us the same build that they have for Anime Expo. I think the Anime Expo build will be different from the one I played because they hid the character select screen away from me. And they're not going to do that for like a public demo, right? What might happen is you're just going to have pre-selected characters. It might just be that, you know. You don't go to this character select screen, just have like, well, you're Team Barry in mode and Sasuke versus Team Jigen and Boruto. I don't know. So it might be one of those cases.
if I'm just thinking, I might actually need to, focus and play a few hours of this game. You might need to teach me how to play this game, because if we want to record footage for the game at Gamescom, it's gonna be you destroying me, and I don't know if that's gonna be interesting to figure stuff out. I might need to.
I'd say if you're gonna learn this game, maybe we practice on the new mod that we're building. Because that way it's already like closer to connections.
Oh, that's good.
You start getting used to the connections mechanics instead of whatever else.
Okay.
Also, I probably should relearn the game with the default controls, because you don't always have the choice to go and change your buttons, and that was a weird thing to get used to mid presentation. Like, oh right, I use this button for sub, but the default is this. Okay.
Yeah.
Gamescom is at the end of August, and Anime Expo is at the start of July. That's the first time the game will be playable publicly, so yeah.
Best case scenario, we get a new build and an interview. That'll be dope. That'll be the best case scenario.
But I do feel like Bandai Namco often just takes whatever they did for America, they take it to Gamescom, because they feel like, well, Europe is a different crowd. They haven't seen this stuff yet, okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Doesn't happen all the time. Credit where it's due. I think like Dragon Ball FighterZ was a great example of Trunks and being playable for the first time in Europe, and then that was cool.
We're getting the scoop.
Yeah, we definitely got the scoop there. Shinobi Striker, I think, was playable for the first time at Gamescom too. So that was a big one.
Gamescom is still the biggest thing. Summer Games Fest is getting there, but Gamescom is still the biggest thing now that E3 is.
Oh, you think so? You think it's bigger than? I don't think it's bigger than Summer Games Fest.
But like in terms of public,
of course, because Summer Games Fest is not a public show.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. It's in a way much more important.
Yeah, it doesn't feel that way, because it feels like we usually get the leftovers of that show. Like the big announcements are all at Summer Games Fest.
I actually don't remember if I believe Summer Games Fest last year was quite weak. Gamescom as well. Opening Night Live was not fantastic, but I think this is the first time that Summer Games Fest actually, you know, it was not a perfect show at all, but it was quite good.
Yeah.
I think this is the first year that I get that feeling.
Sure. Yeah, and a lot of people got that feeling over there too, because we had like a main HQ full of like TVs for people to play games at, and according to them, like last year that was it. It was just that building, and now Bandai Namco had a building, Amazon had a building, Warner Brothers had a building. You know, like it just grew like 5 times larger.
It's getting bigger. Yeah, and not only that, like even the amount of games. I know people had like Sonic Forces last year, and I think Street Fighter was also playable.
This year we have another Sonic.
But this year we have Sonic, we have Mortal Kombat big, Armored Core, I mean, Naruto connections, like there's a lot of stuff that, yeah, this year was much stronger. But we're also finally getting away from COVID, which is also changing stuff.
Right.
So,
how much chakra do jutsus consume now? I think the same. I didn't notice a difference. If tilts are technically different jutsu, can you mix and match the jutsus in Jutsu Select, or is it pre-selected? Again, they hid the character select screen for me, so I can tell you. Yeah, we're asking questions. Sure.
We did get a screenshot of the character select screen, remember?
When?
I think because we even had to translate.
What? No.
Yeah, for Storm Connections. We
Really?
did.
They gave us a I think it was either an online battle menu screenshot, not character select screen.
Oh, I see.
No character select screen yet.
Oh, yeah. That was the...
How strong are the new characters compared to the old ones in your opinion? Again, they feel built different, so I don't know if like good or bad. I definitely think they feel a lot more fun. Because like they're being built with a second jutsu in mind, instead of just like, oh, let's make the tilts the second jutsu. Because a lot of characters just have bad tilts, and now those bad tilts cost chakra. Like, fuck off, right? But these guys are being thought as like characters with a second jutsu, with all of these new cancels in mind. Whereas the others are like adapted into this new system.
Mm-hmm.
How does Awakening work? The same. You poke around for roster size? No, they didn't. I didn't poke. It's a dead end.
You said you played Sasuke the last.
Yes, I asked to play some of my old characters to show them infinites and switch tech.
Okay. So what was the second jutsu, if you remember, for Sasuke the last?
It's Shinra Tensei.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It costs chakra now. I can't be free. I gotta.
Actually, I have something for you on that front.
So
I do have something for you on that front. Let me open link and double click that. Boom. Like that.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I like that.
That's
I
something
like that.
Playco already modded in. So this is the build you guys are gonna get to play.
So for people that don't know why that's kind of dope, is if you're doing an infinite and you see the slabs rebuilding and you have chakra, you just push off them instead of put yourself back in that situation.
Exactly.
Okay, that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, I do think like this is gonna open up a lot of tech for a lot of characters. Like you're people are too focused on like, oh, we lost tilt, and they're not focused enough on we can use these jutsu in a different way now. And I think, yeah, some characters, like, it's lame as hell, because their tilts suck, and they're still gonna suck, but they cost chakra. But for other characters, it's like, I can put this shit in combos now. I can cancel into it. I can, what? Okay. That's cool.
yeah, that's ultimately gonna create a more fun game to watch, at least in terms of combos. And we like combos.
We love
and
combos.
the labbing is gonna be cool.
Oh, is that Ultra Rumble? That's the last news of the day. It's not gonna be here for another hour, man. It's a bootleg ninja move tilt that everyone wanted to return.
So I'm starting to. So you asked to play a previous character, and obviously, like, there's a bunch of characters. They're still, they are probably still working on a lot of the new characters that are coming.
Yes.
Do you think that from the fact that they hid everything from you, do you think that how close do you think the previous characters are now done for this game?
The previous characters?
Do you think they're
Oh,
done?
they're not touching them. Yeah, they're done.
They're done.
Yeah.
Okay.
maybe there's like a couple of tilts that they have to figure out. Like there are tilts that are multiple inputs, for instance. So like if you tilt with, there's a Naruto that throws a clone, right? It does Kagebushin and throws a clone, and then if you mash it, he does this, and like a bunch of clones come out. How do they do that in a jutsu? Maybe it's a hold input now, because some jutsu you can hold it to extend the effect.
Yeah.
But I don't know how they solve it. We'll find out. Our item's still in the game, yes, but the guard break pills are not pills anymore. It's just an ability on cooldown. It's still up on the D-pad, but it's on cooldown. You don't have a limited use. I actually prefer Storm Connections in general over Storm 4. Can't wait to play it. Connections looks very appealing. I'm hyped. I'm glad you're hyped. I think it's a bit too soon to say you prefer it, because I haven't played it.
Well, in theory, in my mind, I also prefer it, but I never really played Storm 4 competitively,
Right.
and I never played Storm Connections, so. But in my mind, it sounds good.
Right.
I'm in the boat where like, and I'm in the minority, and I acknowledge that, but I'm in the boat that I don't like the switching because of the glitches that people use to abuse in the game. It kind of sours the enjoyment for me. But I realize that now that you have like this build that you're showing me, like that Sasuke thing kind of made me like, wait, I may not need the tilts. I might be able to do other things. So like that kind of
tilt is a trash input. Like it's garbage.
It is trash, but it's cool when you hit it. Like it's cool when you execute it.
Like
that's the thing about
the strong attack or the parry in Demon Slayer. Like fuck those inputs, man. They're so bad.
Okay, it's really bad in Demon Slayer because it's so like specific just to catch people. It's like a very big part of the game. Tilts with some characters are hit or miss. Because now you got me thinking. I was gonna ask, did you try Naruto, like any of the Shippuden Naruto?
No,
because
the only old characters I tried were Rock Lee, Mifune, Sasuke the Last. So someone asked how long the cooldown was for guard break. This is too fast, is what I told Playco. This is like way too fast. So the distance is new. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but whoop. No, okay, actually that's the old distance. But there is like a bigger dash now. This cooldown is way too fast. We're still like labbing it out. But I'm working on from feel and I'm working from memory. Okay, so if you go to Anime Expo and you have a stopwatch, fucking time all the shit. Time the pause that the chakra does after using a chakra action. Just time it how long it takes to recover fully, so we know how fast the regeneration is. How fast are these cooldowns? Like time it all. Also, I had 30 minutes with the game, and these are the mechanics that I figured out. No one gave me a list of systems. No one was like, yo, here's what changed. No, this is just stuff that I figured out on my own. It's very possible that you get your hands on the game and you're like, whoa, there's this whole other thing that Globku didn't notice. It's very possible. Yeah,
and also, and that's another thing that people need to keep in mind is, yeah, this game it might sound way too different or way too broken because the new mechanics we are mentioning, but there also might be stuff that makes up for it, you know. Probably there won't be, but you know, it's still early. Like you only had 30 minutes with the game, nothing was explained to you. You don't even play this game competitively, so like there's obviously stuff that we're gonna miss, and you know there might be stuff that makes up for the fact that you know you get the guard break. The guard break is pretty much guaranteed, or even like the combo was the counter. Maybe there's stuff going around the counter being free. Yeah. You know, we don't know. Like, again, nothing was explained to you. You had a very limited time with the game. Right. You had to figure stuff on your own, so, you know.
Yeah. Something people have got to understand also in chat. I did not play with the devs, okay? CC2 was not there. Bandai Namco was there, and they're the publisher. So, like, CC2 has known about Switch Tech for a long time. But Bandai, the people at Bandai that I played with and against, yeah, they did feel, the producer felt like brand new, honestly, like very young person. The other producer that was there was not a producer for Storm. He was working as a translator. She was a producer for Dragon Ball The Breakers. And she was also like super interested in let's fix this. Because according to her, and like this makes so much sense, but according to her, like they love my videos in Japan because they get honest feedback, which is something that I watched like a Chris Broad video recently, and he was talking about abroad in Japan. He was talking about restaurants in Japan and how they never improve at anything because everyone's just so polite and always says that everything's good and delicious. So like even if food is bad, the restaurant owner will never know until people just stop showing up, right?
Yeah.
Because they never get that feedback. And that's like culturally a very big thing in Japan. They never get feedback, which is why they love my videos so much, because they watch that and they go, we know what we need to work on. It's not fucking weird. It's Japan's culture. It's not about video games. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
People are just polite and everything's amazing.
To us, like, if you fuck up my pasta, I'm gonna fucking complain. There's no way I want to eat my pasta.
Yeah, being overly polite. But then you also have like you have the license holders that like will restrict like how a game can be played, and they'll restrict like how a game can be shown. Why do you think it's so weird that like I'm the one telling you what mechanics are different in Naruto Storm Connections? Why haven't Bandai just said it, you know? And a lot of that just comes down to the license holder, to Shueisha being like, no, you can't do that. Because they always want the game to be shown in the best possible light, in a way that will sell the most copies. And then breaking down mechanics might be a bad move for them, or they perceive it as a bad move. Like, at some point, people are gonna know, right? You're gonna have a public demo soon. Like, take control of the message instead of being so afraid to speak out again, being afraid of the reaction and stuff like that. And it's a weird business, but like it's also a really tough position for Bandai Namco to be in, because they want to tell you stuff, but they can't.
Yeah, and let's be honest, this is Bandai we're talking. This is no publisher that has started out and started doing shit. No, this is Bandai. They are so successful. They know how to market the game properly. Yeah. So they probably know better. Like they know how to do their stuff, you know.
Yeah, thanks for the premium bush, Ashura. 6 months running strong. Appreciate your support, man, as always. Ashura is going to be coming on the show later because I know nothing about King of Fighters, and we have King of Fighters news. I really hope we get a date for this game. Yeah, so obviously I don't know anything, but I'm going to say the anniversary for the anniversary for Naruto is in October. So I'd expect something around there. I wouldn't expect it before October, honestly. It might be November also, but the anniversary is in October, and if you can time it with the anniversary, still release it before Black Friday, and you get more time to develop the game, then why the fuck not? You're not going to rush it for a September release.
Yeah, this is definitely slated for a holiday, 2023. And the thing is, it's with this year you can't even predict on where the game should land, because there are so many games coming out, all of them so big that it's like Russian roulette. Whatever you put the game on, it's gonna land near a big title. So, and it's still gonna sell because it's Naruto.
Yes, it's still gonna sell. It is still going to sell. All right, more questions. This is irrelevant. Okay, good. Next. We got like 10 more minutes of questions, and then we got to move on from Storm. So get your questions out now. I'll answer everything I can. Counter should definitely have its own meter, as a source should be limited to 2 counters, then it goes on a cooldown. The cooldown should be decently in length. I think there's a very simple change that you can do to counters that fixes the whole thing, which is block switch. Make counter a committal move. The window for punishing a counter is pretty big if you cannot switch. So just make it a committal. Big risk, big reward.
Yeah, sounds easy. They did not show you the character select screen. Did you ask for random characters? I know they had it already programmed in. I believe that you asked for old characters, right?
No, so they... I love the way they did this presentation, by the way. So the way they did this presentation, they sit you down and like, okay, so you obviously already know how to play Naruto Storm Connections. you've heard about these announcements. You get to play as the new Naruto and the new Sasuke. You have the Awakening for Baryon mode and whatnot. And I'll be playing as Ashura and Indra. So enjoy like the simple controls. Also, here we have a control scheme in this sheet of paper. I'm like, oh, cool. All right, so get a feel for it, play. And I'm like, okay. I'm feeling good. Guy dashes me and starts just punching me while I'm checking out the controls. I'm like, not this motherfucker. I sub out, start dashing after him. He subs out, I react to the dash. Boom, 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 boom. 4 subs gone. Extend the combo. Bam, 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 bam. And while I'm doing this, I finish the combo. And they go, I don't know if you noticed that, but Chakra is always regenerating during simple controls, which was a mistake. It's always regenerating, period. But at the time, they were like, it's regenerating during simple controls. I'm like, what? That is busted. Like, I not hold back. I'm like, if you give that to simple controls and not classic control, are you insane? Do you know how big of a deal that is? Like,
that is wild.
I'm switching.
And the producer was like, we'll give that feedback to the developers. Like, okay. But then later, it's like, oh, wait. My chakra is always regenerating. Oh, it's no problem then. It's just your choice. Yeah. It was like a mistranslation thing. So we do that match. I win. And they go, well, now we have something new to show you. Because next Tuesday, we're going to have a new trailer. And they show this trailer, right? Boruto, Kawaki, the English producer sitting next to me. Like, this is the time when I would be explaining stuff, but you already know who these guys are. And when Jigen shows up, I go, oh, you're doing more than 2 characters. That's smart. That breaks expectations. That's really well done. I look at the Awakening, I'm like, sheesh, that's sick. And they're like so happy that I'm happy, you know. And while they're showing me the trailer, they're selecting the characters in the background, you know? Because the TV has the trailer. I can't see the character select screen. They're changing it. And like, so yeah, Boruto, Kawaki, and Jigen are coming to the game. Not only are we announcing that Tuesday, but you get to play them right now. And they give me the controller, like, let's go. Oh, that's so sick. Bam, 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 bam. We're playing, we're fighting, whatnot. Oh, cool. And then they give the controller to the Japanese producer. And we play another game. And I'm like, do you want to switch? Because, like, he was playing Jigen. I'm like, I want to try Jigen out. Okay, how do you want to switch? And we just switch controllers. Because that way we don't have to go back to the character select screen. I'm like, oh, we fight again. Boom, 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 boom. 1-1. Okay. This is awesome, guys. Thank you so much. Can I try some of my old team? Can I try my old characters and maybe, like, show you some of the stuff that was present in Storm 4 and maybe still here? They're like, sure, who are your old characters? They disconnect the TV from the HDMI. The producer goes back to the person handling the demo to tell him where the characters are because she's taking a while to find them. Like, Rock Lee, Mifune, and Sasuke the last. Okay, they select the characters. All right, cool. All right, so switch tech. Well, still there. So notice how chakra works. Okay, I throw jutsu, you spend chakra. Neat, that's all cool. But what if I do this? Chakra was not spent anymore. I'm like, oh, let me see the buttons. What are you doing? You know, they wanted to learn. And that was really cool.
That was really cool of them.
Yeah.
Like, even just, you know, going out of their way to have you play the characters that you asked for and going through all the trouble of disconnecting and, you know,
And then I just show them an infinite. I'm like, hey, try blocking now. And they're like, oh, I can't. Yeah, because it's infinite. And they're like, oh, it's okay. You have subs. All right. That's true. Good point.
Sure.
Good point.
That's true.
And then I was like, I've been trying to tilt. So this was a very hard thing to communicate because they don't call it a tilt. I learned now they call it a medium distance attack, medium range attack, something like that.
What?
Yeah. So I'm showing them the input. I'm like, you used to do a thing like this, and they were like, oh, and they pointed to the paper and like, oh, second ninjutsu. I'm like, what? So this was like at the very end of the presentation that I found about the second ninjutsu. I almost left the presentation just saying, there's no tilts. They removed them, period. And like not knowing about the second jutsu stuff.
Wow.
But once they showed it, I'm like, whoa, okay, this opens up stuff. But then I didn't play the game anymore. So I don't know if you can do it out of block or anything. So that was my whole presentation. It was very well orchestrated, honestly. It was really cool.
I'm guessing that you'll be able to do them. I'm guessing the properties will be the same. From what I'm guessing, their idea is
the same as tilt or the same as jutsu?
The same as tilt.
Ooh, okay.
Because here's the thing, and this is coming from someone again who hasn't played the game. It's just me guessing. Their idea of simple controls and the changes seems to be tailored to one move, and I think that the change to having a second jutsu is mostly due to simplifying the controls instead of actually having different things in the game. So I'm guessing that it will probably function as a tilt skill anyway. The fact that it spends chakra, I guess that makes sense because you're doing a jutsu. It's called a jutsu, but like I don't see them changing the properties exactly to the jutsu instead of being a tilt. Who knows? It's just me like trying to figure out their train of thought for what they want the game to be.
I don't know, because like all tilts behave like that, like it feels like it's an input thing rather than it feels like it's a slot thing almost. Like, okay, all the jutsu they go into the tilt slot, you can do them in this little gap right here, and some of them are really good for just escaping. Others is just it starts the action and you switch characters, and that gets you out of the block string. But yeah, it doesn't feel like a lot of tilts were not meant to be used in a small block string. It's just how the community found out, oh, we can do this. Cool. So I think that with that, I mean, and you can cancel. I don't know. Everything I tried with the new jutsu, it just speaks jutsu properties. Again, like with the jutsu switching, you can't do tilt switch. Like the tilt disappears, but now it stays on screen.
I see. Yeah, that's a good point. Interesting.
Do awakenings have ults now? That's a great question. I did not test it out. The only awakening I did was that Susano that you just saw. Are Kawaki Boruto going to enter their karma stage with their awakening, or is their base game mode? You can see both of their awakenings in this trailer, I think.
Wait, does Baryon
is an awakening.
And the ultimate isn't the ultimate specific to Baryon mode?
No. So that's the awakening here for Boruto. Straight up, that's his awakening. And here's the awakening for Kawaki. You can see them in the trailer. Yeah, they're there.
Because I'm thinking about the Naruto's from the previous trailer, Naruto Baryon mode, the ultimate.
I think that's a team ultimate. So that's different.
I guess.
It's just like have the storm gauge filled up and throw an ultimate with either Kawaki or Naruto.
I feel like Lob isn't trying to say too much. I don't. We have no restrictions.
Yeah, I can talk about whatever. I mean, there are private conversations I had with producers that I will not share, but it has nothing to do with info with the game.
Yeah, there's no info.
Yeah. Might have to do with info on Tenkaichi, but I'm not going to spill the beans.
That's another story.
That's another story. Trying to see that Baryon mode ult that you guys are talking about. I kind of hope they have reduced character icons on the select screen. But I think they're doing pages, definitely, because of how long it took people to find my characters. Oh, there's no NDA. I didn't sign anything.
It's more of a question of respect for...
And also, like, I kind of want to keep this relationship with Bandai. It took me a long time to cultivate it, so maybe not
and
screw it up right now.
Also, leaking stuff is not good for anyone.
Yeah, it would be good for me and no one else. Play the next file in the folder.
For me as well, because
for you as well, I guess.
Also.
Yeah, but not for the community. Unlike people are like, I should do it all for you guys. No, what? So what? Now you gotta wait longer for something? Whatever. What release date do you expect for Connections? October, I would say, because that's the anniversary date. Yeah, anniversary date, anime returns. Like it's too much is happening in October, sort of. Yeah, Rasengan Unison. Why is this not playing the next file in the folder? Why is it always just...
Koji was confirmed by Senju. First of all, you know, Senju also confirmed.
Yes.
He also confirmed Naruto Storm 5, and that's not a thing.
Senju's not confirming shit anymore.
And also, is it a confirmation that Koji is going to be in the game? Like, it's pretty much obvious that that character will be in the game. I mean, who else?
I mean, okay, I don't think Koji is 100% obvious, to be fair. Also, this is not Baryon mode at all. Was this the ultimate you guys were talking about?
This is Baryon mode.
What?
This is the one that transforms into Baryon mode.
Oh, yeah. It's that Naruto. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's in the other trailer. It's in the first trailer.
Oh, okay.
I actually believe Koji is probably one of the strongest characters to be in the game, if not the main roster DLC. Because who can you pull from? And obviously this is just me guessing, but yeah, like considering Senju leaked Storm 5 and Storm 5 is not a thing. You know?
Yeah, the whole open world stuff. Like, if you want my honest take, like, and Senju said he was gonna stop leaking stuff, and I don't know. It feels like he's not stopping now. So I gave him a lot of credit when he did, and now it feels like he's just back on his bullshit. But if you want my honest take, Senju had a source at CC2, and that source has let him down. My honest take. So yeah, now Senju is, you know, trying to hold on to that audience, and, you know, just being leaky with like relatively safe things to say and relatively safe things to expect. But I don't know how much you can trust that. Oh, it's confirmed, you know. But if you wanna breathe that hopium, I mean, you do you. I'm done fighting that. Honestly, I think I've proved how harmful that is to the community. I think you all saw the reaction to the first reveal of Storm Connections and how disappointing that was, and that was 100% his fault.
Yeah, Anteko says in chat, this is basically Storm 5. Yeah, that's not what the community thinks. Yeah, and that was proven by the reaction.
The expectation that was set is why the first trailer was disappointing. So, like, every time I hear, no, I do this for you and whatnot, nah. Like, that reaction, we all remember that fucking reaction? That was disappointing to the entire community because of the leaks. So, the leaks are benefiting no one but himself. Like, it's a super selfish thing to do. It is destructive to not only the community, but also the company making these video games. Because if the leaks are accurate, they get a reputation for being leaky, they lose the job. You want a future without CC2 making more anime games? I guess support Senju in Japan. The leaks hurt the game in a way that you guys cannot even fucking imagine. So, like, yeah, I condemn those leaks 100%.
It's the funny thing, and it's not funny, obviously, but, like, this was the best example we could have asked for, because leaks will always hurt video games, because if there's a marketing team, if they spend so much budget on marketing, they want the marketing to go as they intend, because they want to sell the game, because it costs millions to make video games. In this specific case, it was so harmful because it was also sort of a lie. It was setting expectations way too high for something that was not real. And can you imagine the company making something that is honestly quite exciting, but people were exciting Storm 5 because of some false leaks, and now the company, you that are making the game, are seeing people react poorly to the game that you're making? It just fucking sucks, man. It's a lot of people's jobs are at stake when you make these decisions. So yeah, it's super selfish. So, you know, leaking shit is not good, and I really dislike it.
Yeah. Did you use Kaoki while playing with the new game during the event? Yep, I used all the new characters, except Asher and Ninja. I played against those characters, but I did not use them. I have some big AoEs though. Like, I was subbing the producer's combos, and the guy was reacting with a jutsu, and I was falling right into that shit. So that was like some good sub baits with that jutsu for sure. Yeah, the marketing's not helping. Yeah, for sure. But if your expectation was, oh, CC2 is done making Storm games, and then suddenly you see fucking Connections, you're like, what?
Oof, you get hyped.
They're back? But if you already knew that, then okay, let's see what they have to show. Oh, that's it? The reaction is completely different. What character did you like playing with while at the event? The new fucking Sasuke, man. The new Sasuke has a swap jutsu. Like, dude, what? This is what I love about the new characters, man. You've seen the triple fireball jutsu, right? You've seen the triple fireball. His other jutsu, it just swaps positions. You're like, boop. Oh, what happened? Like, if you get hit by that, it's so, whoa. Hey,
Does the camera stay in place?
the camera stay in place.
That's kind of cool.
It straight up
It's just
swaps
kinda
the character's
cool, man.
position.
That is kind of cool.
It's so awesome.
And also,
Like,
you mentioned
sometimes, like, I saw, like, okay, so we're at a distance, and this guy starts smashing, of course, like, because he's a masher, right? Oh, mashing, like, boop, swap, and he keeps attacking the wrong way. I'm like, haha, you idiot. It's so cool.
So, you mentioned seeing some cool jutsu from Indra and Azure as well, right?
Some big AoE stuff, yeah.
That now I'm super looking forward to seeing what they do with the new characters. Like, I'm actually very excited just to get the new trailers and for us to see, oh, this is the first jutsu, this is the second jutsu. That's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
And
go on.
if as soon as we figure out the properties of the second jutsu, it's also going to be another thing that we're going to keep in mind when learning. Oh, wait, is this the first jutsu? Is this the second jutsu? Does the second jutsu have tilt properties?
Yeah.
Does it? That's going to be fun.
Also keep in mind that jutsu change when you go into awakening.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. So I didn't try any of that. Like I said, like I found out about the second jutsu very late. So if you ask me, what was the second jutsu of Naruto? I have no idea. I know Sasuke's, because that was the default jutsu input. Triangle into circle was the swap. So I was doing that expecting fireballs. I'm like, oh, maybe they changed it. It wasn't until they told me that it hit me, oh, the fireballs are probably the other one. In fact, they did that for a few characters. Mifune's jutsu is backwards from what you would expect. If you hit triangle circle, you do not get the slash that you get in Storm 4. You get his tilt. The slash you get from triangle square. So what I think the rationale is there, and that's another reason why I think like the tilts have jutsu properties and not.
Yeah, I take my answer back. It won't have jutsu tilt skill properties.
So
yeah,
what I think the rationale is there is this is a long range ability, so you use the ninja tool button, and this is a shorter range ability, so you use the attack button. So yeah, it's something to keep in mind, your mind on. We're not gonna change that for the mod, by the way. We're not gonna change those inputs for the mod because I only know 3 characters, so can't really do much for that. Sasuke though, weirdly enough, triangle square was Shina Tensei instead of the fireball. Feels inconsistent. Anyway, that's it. We're done. Done with Storm Connections. Let's move on to the rest of the news. We got a lot of tabs up here to get through. If you were here for just Storm Connections, well, it's your loss because we got a lot of hype news to go through, including Naruto Shinobi Striker. The next character is going to come out this month. Obito, 10 Tails is an attack type, confirmed now by this scan. You can see some of the jutsu. He got Big Sword. He got Big Sword. You got a circle with things and a big AoE. I think this is probably his ultimate big cross flamey ground kind of thing. But attack type, we didn't know his type, and now we do. I think that's the biggest reveal of this scan for sure. There'll be 3 characters in the season pass. This is season 6. Minato was the first one. This guy is gonna be the next, and then Kaguya is gonna close it all out. Jubito comes out this month because they are releasing a new character every 2 months. We're already on the 16th, which means this character comes out next week. Or maybe the week after. Or maybe the week after. Yeah, we only got 2 weeks for this character to come out. Bandai Namco, you told me I cannot talk about a video game until June 22nd. Do not make me do a Shinobi Striker video. Please.
Please.
Do not compete with yourselves.
Don't do us like this.
No.
Also, just the one thing I want to say about this specific character is the jutsu effects look dope. That's
super
my
dope.
first. Yeah, that was my first reaction. Look at this! look at that sphere.
I love this color scheme. Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
I think we've seen some of this color scheme with Madara Six Pats too, but this seems a bit more pronounced for sure. Next, also DLC anime game news. This character came out, Alternate World Diego. Yes, it is another Diego. This guy looks like a stand character because he's got the world, but no, he's a mounted character. Just turns out when he's not mounted, he's got a stand. Kind of a stand character, but not really, you know, in a stand cancel sort of way or stand rush sort of way. He's a mounted character first and foremost. Tried him out yesterday, video on this character coming out today, and he's a touch of death, the character, basically. It's too much. Let me hide my screen. Let me go on my channel. No, okay. Let me go on my history just to show you a taste of what someone found out within 3 hours of labbing this character. 3 fucking hours. 3 hours. All right. So, this is what we call a 200% touch of death. He kills Joseph twice in this combo. Kills Joseph twice. And you can get this from a lot of hits. This is not situational. Built so much meter. Boom, boom. This link, I got this link while recording Follow the Script, and not a single time before or after. Now you get the hits, and now perfect resets into time stop. His time stop is the fastest in the game because it is a perfect reset. You cannot block it, and you get all of your normals again. Teabag for a good measure, and you start the combo over, basically. Boom. Blow him up off the ground. Boom. Blow him up off the ground.
Very dead.
Very dead already. But guess what? We can go into this. We have to go for a different finisher now. We call the assist just to make the reset perfect. And there it is. This time was not a 3-bar reset. It was slightly longer. Get a couple of hits and you just start over.
Just in case you want to kill the character again already.
The only thing that stops this from being an infinite is the assist stocks. So he's got one more assist use. So he can do it one more time, basically. As long as he builds 1.5 bars, he can go into the world. There you go. 1.5 bars. Extend the combo a little bit longer. Boom. Perfect reset once again. Or just keep going. Now starts the combo over, and this time it has to go into a finisher because he does not have any more assists. Now, granted, you have combo breakers in this game. They are limited. But like after you use those, theoretically, he just has to touch you once and you're dead. This is a very broken character. This is so incredibly broken.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing the reaction to this. I don't know. First of all, yeah, we're releasing the video today, hopefully. I just need to insert a few clips. In fact, I just asked Azure to record something that I'm missing.
Oh, cool.
How was the reaction for this character? Were people mad that this is another Diego, or is it fine?
Yeah, disappointing, I think. After K-Show that no one asked for, they released like... It feels like a character that's been released because Eyes of Heaven already had him. And half of the moveset is recycled from the other Diego. So like all the normals on the horse are the same as the other Diego. Like every single normal. So... Yeah, it feels lazy. Feels a lazy way to end this season pass for sure. But they also announced a second one. Maybe they're getting a bit more creative in the future. But this one is just okay. Like
there are still
the entire JoJo's fucking Bizarre Adventure universe with 8 going into 9 parts now, full of characters. You have to go into this original character made up for the previous game? Like, what? Second season ends in JoJo, 100%.
Tell me something. Do you expect any character to be released outside of the Eyes of Heaven roster?
It has already happened.
As a DLC?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't think they have many left now. So that we will definitely see some originals in the season pass too. Now, this character came with a big balance patch, which is why like I say this character is broken, and like, but that's not a huge issue when you're updating your game every single time a character comes out, right? So it's a matter of maybe we ban this character for now and we'll put him in competitive later once they nerf this guy. Because this is something that CC2 is doing, and I think this is something CC2 will do for Storm Connections. I think that this is the whole reason why Storm Connections is going to be a thing, because every time there's a DLC drop, there's going to be a balance patch. I think this is the treatment we can expect from that game, and I think that's why Storm Connections is an exciting game, because we're going to see a lot of bug fixes, we're going to see a lot of balance patches, we're going to see a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, it's always exciting, even for this game. Like, I would never expect a remake. And it's why the remake happened in the first place, of course, because I don't think they would ever remake JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle if it wasn't for the fact that they wanted to make a live service game, or at least a DLC based game. There's no way they would just remaster this for no reason other than selling more DLC. I don't think Naruto lands necessarily in the same wavelength. I think Naruto, there are other reasons why you would do it, because there's more story to add to the game. But yeah, it's another strong reason, because you're gonna make a lot of money with DLC.
True. So big bounce patch and really strong changes too, like some daring changes, I would say, from what I played against Ashura. Some of the changes are really drastic. So it's not like that kind of safe patch, that you're just like, we'll just tune this a little bit. Nah, they're going crazy. Also, big change. You can now stand by in practice as you queue up for a match. You have to be the host. You have to go into host match. So you can now go quick match or whatever. It took me a while to find it. And after you do begin standby in practice, it stays searching for a match for like a minute before it sends you to the character select screen to go into practice. It's weird, but it's there at least. So
it's there. It's there. You know what? I'll take it, because it's something that was not even in the original game, and that they added out of feedback. And I think that's, again, for CC2, that is huge, man.
Yeah.
It's changing the game fundamentally so much. Like, I've seen people stay away from changing such simple things in games, like going out of their way to make a new menu and having standby for matchmaking. It's huge. This is a remaster. Like, it's kind of crazy.
Let me see if I can show you. I should have the video, right? Yeah, there you go. Okay, so it took me a while to find it, but here we go. So you gotta go into, I'm just changing my character. Okay, so quick match just puts you into quick match search. Okay, so that's not what you want. You want to go into custom match. Also not it. You have to ranked match, but then like host, right? And as you host, you choose your parameters and you begin standby in practice. Battle confirmation on or off, and you just go. Like, it stays searching for session. Let's see the timestamp on this. 1:29. So at 2 minutes, 2 minutes and 6 seconds, it goes into the character select screen.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
What were we doing during the whole 30 seconds, right? And I go, and at first I was like, wait, am I searching? Did it break or whatever? No, it's right up there. It's up there next to the opponent's health bar. So that's your confirmation. I'm just slabbing with this guy.
It's cool.
Yeah, and
it's
then
just
match,
a cool thing.
Yeah, the
that they added.
Match pops up. It's like this. You hold X if you want to start. Boop, and you just start the match. It just goes. It's a fun thing that happens here. Is it here? It feels like he's here.
Well, he's definitely there.
Oh, never change JoJo.
You know, it's funny. It's just imagining the people on the, like, the person on the other side just literally. It's the one thing they were doing. I love it. I love it.
Too good.
And on top of all, this is 99% of the people you find online in JoJo.
Yeah.
It is crazy.
Anyway, time to talk about some new game announcements, starting with Sandland. Rena, you do want to talk about Sandland? I don't know what I can say about Sandland.
I'll tell you what I can say. This is, first of all, because this is the same, person that made Dragon Ball, Akira Toriyama. The design of the characters obviously reminds me of Dragon Ball, but also of another game that was designed by Akira Toriyama, which was Blue Dragon. Blue Dragon is a fantastic JRPG, classic, turn-based game that I really loved back in the 360 days. And this game reminds me so much of that, and it gave me so much nostalgia for that game that, it's just, maybe it's nostalgia, maybe it's just that, but this game looks pretty cool to me. It's different. There's vehicle battles, there's hanging on ropes, there are a lot of different animals. I don't know, this is such a different game from what we're used to getting nowadays, with such an unique art style too. Akira Toriyama does this thing. Oh, I'm very excited for this. One thing you said about the game worries me a little bit. But we can't say anything. So
Thank you. Right.
yeah. But yeah, we'll be able to talk about this game. But so far, I'm actually super excited for this. It just looks super cool.
Good. I have expressed no opinions. Anyway, we'll talk about this next week. Can't talk about it now.
And by the way, that is such a small thing. It doesn't even count as a detail. So let's not go over that. Anyway,
another new game. There's a BlazBlue game. It's not a fighting game. It's called Entropy Effect, and here's the gameplay reveal trailer. Yes, you are watching some BlazBlue characters play in a 2D brawler platformer. What is this? I don't know. It's been announced a while ago, but it was coming out only in China, so it was like the weirdest thing that we never talked about. Finally, they're announcing that this is gonna make it globally. So yeah, Arc System Works is not developing this, but it's got their blessing, obviously. This is Chinese developer. I think the name is Rogue. Yep. And BlazBlue in a completely different light.
That game is so fun. I played.
You played it?
Yeah,
Holy
I
shit,
used
let's go.
VPN to play this BlazBlue, so I couldn't wait. I was like, this is not coming here. I was like, it's no way it's ever coming here. For me, as a heavy BlazBlue fan, I am happy we got a roguelike instead of another gacha. Like that. It's really good. You have customization with the colors and characters. I think the game itself is very pretty, very stylized for BlazBlue. Like this was probably like one of the best, if any, spin-offs BlazBlue has ever had. I can tell you that right now.
Okay, so tell me how this works. Do you pick a character before going in, or how
usually you start off the game and they'll give you a S, Mai, or
Ragnar?
New 13.
No Ragnar?
No Ragnar.
Damn.
You have to get Ragnar.
Damn.
And Ragnar's a big thing in the game.
Oh.
But I know there's two different builds of the game, so some people saying you can get them, but I couldn't find it or get it.
Gotcha.
But I know the game itself is really good, where you start off and it's like level based. It's like it's very reminiscent if you play Dead Cells.
Yep.
But for BlazBlue.
Okay.
That's pretty much the structure of it.
I like the character movesets remind you at all of like their movesets, and I mean I see some moves there, but like does it feel like those characters in that environment?
Yes.
Okay.
The moves are like, all right, let's take like BlazBlue and then let's like put like ufotable work behind it. Like it's like exaggerated. Like some attacks are even crazier. So it's like it's pretty dope.
That's a very good. I'm gonna steal that. And then let's put ufotable behind it.
Yeah.
Fucking read the Demon Slayer manga and then watch the anime and tell me what ufotable does. Yeah, you're right. Damn. So yeah, this is coming out later this year.
Yeah, it's supposed to come out this fall, I think.
I don't know why this was such a surprise to me. This got me off guard. Like a new BlazBlue. Oh, let me check it out. What? What?
Just
why?
soon.
But it looks super cool. Super cool effects, good animations. I love roguelikes. I love platforming games. I love this type of side scrolling. So it just got me off guard because I never heard anything about this.
Pretty cool. Also on a new Persona time. Persona 3 Reload. We got a remake for the Persona 3 coming out to the Xboxes and also Windows PC. PlayStation fans mad and are review bombing Persona 3. So
it's already confirmed for
Yeah,
PS4.
it's already
and
confirmed for those platforms.
yeah, but they already review bombed it. So what the fuck?
They're stupid.
People are stupid. Here's people just don't understand. So usually when a game gets announced for another console, imagine this: if PS4 would have said after the Xbox show that Persona 3 was going to be on PlayStation, all of the people would watch the trailer on PlayStation side, not on Xbox, because PlayStation now is the fan favorite. So there's like a few days in between announcements from one console to another. Xbox gets the sort of a marketing plus. They get the views from the first few days of showing the new game, and then PlayStation gets to announce the game.
Also Game
That's
Pass,
just
by the way. So probably the best place to play it. Persona 5 Reload early next year. Another Persona 5 game though. This one is called Tactica. So yeah, when we saw P5T, we're like, what? Hopium? Is it making the fighting game? Is it happening? No, it's a tactics game.
Key fact about Persona, out of all the code names, the only one left is you. And the last hope for Copium is Evo.
That's not gonna happen.
My last Copium. Man.
That's not gonna happen. This game looks cute.
It's a gotcha.
This game looks cute. Look at that. But I wanted to get into Persona.
Persona
I've never
5
played
Tactica,
Persona.
sorry. If I did say the Reload, my bad. You never got into it?
I never got into it just because of the fact that I know it takes a long time to beat a single game. Not even just 100%. It just beat the game, and I'm always scared of long games. I want to. I'm gonna do the same with Yakuza, which is I'm gonna choose one and get the Persona and Yakuza experience with one of the games. I'm gonna try to choose the best one, and that's it. I can't play everything else. It's just too much.
Okay, that's I think 5 is the most consensual, probably Royal, but I mean 3 is good, and if you get it on Game Pass, just
Yeah, that's also another situation. You do probably have the game, right? You have Persona 5.
Yeah, I do have. I don't have Royal, but I do have 5.
Yeah, I also have that option. But yeah, people that love Persona are eating good.
Eating very good.
Not only because of these, but because of the next one.
Oh damn, you read my tab. Metaphor, Re-Fantagio. What? That's not Persona. Yes, it is. This is from the guys that made Persona. Just not the publisher, not the license holders, but actual developers that made the Persona game. They're like, let's make something new, and
it's Persona.
Yeah, we got 3 Persona games.
We got 3 Persona games. One of them with a different name, but
this feels like these animations. They actually feel like a lot closer to Catherine for me. Like an evolution of Catherine rather than an evolution of Persona. Gameplay wise, sure, okay. Like frame rate wise, but gameplay wise, you got all the what do you call them? The monsters. They're not Personas. You got the Personas too, but the monsters.
If you're referring to SMT, demons.
Okay.
Digimon.
The Digimon, all the Digimon in there.
Yeah, let's go with Digimon.
So that's very Persona-like.
The Yu-Gi-Ohs.
The Yu-Gi-Ohs.
If you're interested, it looks fucked up.
The Beyblade.
Yeah.
Pocket Monsters.
It's probably gonna be good.
With machine
Can we
guns.
talk about the Beyblade reference from like streams long ago? See, I just want to catch on to that.
Oh, okay, just catch on. Okay.
All right.
That Beyblades and Tim's on the way. Yeah, and those are the new games. Also, kind of new, kind of not. This game has been out in Japan for a while, since 2020. It's now coming out in the West for PS4, Switch, and PC. It's a Konosuba game. And it's I think this is a visual novel, so
Yeah, it's a
gameplay-wise,
visual novel.
whatever.
99% of Konosuba games are visual novels.
Yeah.
They don't do anything with the RPG element.
I mean, how do you do humor without visual novel? And they're up. I don't know how to humor without visual novel.
No, yeah. I've never laughed playing anything but a visual novel
Where
day in my
humor?
life.
We're humor. So yeah, Konosuba is just a very funny anime. I recommend it to everyone that likes to laugh. they don't know how to make Konosuba games other than visual novels. So that's my take. Also, kind of new but kind of not. Let's jump into the fighting game portion of the Around the Bush. And ladies and gentlemen, Mortal Kombat 1 is the headliner.
So here's the funny thing. I have to tell this story because I was watching the presentation and my girlfriend was watching with me, and I was popping off with Mortal Kombat and sort of explaining what was happening to her.
I like that Rene likes to say my girlfriend now. It's just it's a recent thing still, but like he finds a way to sneak that into every Around the Bush.
No, that's not a thing. That's not a thing.
No,
I was
doing the
I'm
same as
gonna
my
go back
girlfriend.
and edit a video of how many times
do
you
it,
said
do
my
it.
girlfriend.
Every single Around the Bush is like, so I was doing this thing with my girlfriend.
do it. No, but
Gotta include this one.
I was explaining what I was popping off to, and one of the things I popped off to, or two of the things I popped off was the tag system and the aerial combos. And as I was explaining that to her, I was about to message you saying, dude, aerial combos and tag combos. And you messaged me the same thing. We were popping off at the same time for the same thing. That was super cool. It's just, this game looks amazing.
Absolutely. I had a chance to play it. I have a file with 20 gigs of size, like uncompressed 4K footage of Mortal Kombat 1 that I don't know what I'm gonna do with because I don't cover it. I made a Twitter clip, and it's my most popular Twitter clip of all time, so I guess worth it. That's what the 20 gigs were for the one combo. Mortal Kombat account replied, so I'm done here. Peace off.
You know what? It's the second time we get something popping off with Mortal Kombat, because we had like we had a very successful video on Mortal Kombat.
Oh yeah,
back in the day.
I want to try to find a hacker in Mortal Kombat 1.
I told him to do it, guys. He's like, I'm not doing it. I'm doing a Twitter clip.
Yeah, there you go. I beat a hacker with Scorpion MK11 ranked, 435,000 views.
That is the best video, one of the best videos we have on the channel. If you guys don't know this video, I totally advise you to watch it because it's very funny.
With Shinobi Striker didn't work as well.
It's still good. It's still good. It's just not as funny. Mortal Kombat was just funny. It was amazing.
It's so true.
But anyway, this game. So I heard a lot of people say that watching 4K videos of this game does not make any justice to what the game really looks like.
Okay.
What is your opinion based on what you played?
I don't have a 4K screen in front of me right now. So I can tell you how 4K videos look. But I have the file, and compression is minimal because it's just a capture file, and we can hook this up to a 4K screen, and you tell me.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. But even if you if you upload the video to YouTube, it will always be compressed. And that's, I think, why people were saying that when they played properly, that the game just looks very, very good. Combo potential is amazing. I'm not a very big fan of how you level up in this game competitively. But as always, I'm very excited to try the new story mode. I think the setup for the story mode is amazing. It's just a new thing that just a bunch of new characters, a new universe. They're changing things around with Liu Kang and also Raiden as well. So I'm very excited for the story and to try out the new combos. And let's hope that this game has a good combo challenge mode. So that's the thing I'm always hoping.
Right. Yeah. I got to love the game. I got to play it with one of the producers. I got like 4 matches, and I guess we'll pause this and come back to this during Q&A. Mortal Kombat 1 got its gameplay debut, and reactions are terrific. Now, I know nothing about KOF. Who the fuck is Gonitz?
So, Goenitz is a character who is been around since the old games. His last appearance was from like 2002. It's been a very long time. And he's a free DLC character for this game. He's getting added much like God Rugal from last year. So, added for free. They'll also add a boss mode of him, who's going to be a little bit hard.
Why does he look like that guy from Fantasy Strike? Wait.
I was like, what the fuck are we in face?
Yeah, this guy.
Very different game.
I like this guy. What's that guy's name?
Yes, but so
Justice and Goat, it looks like.
No, it's not Justice and...
Not Ghost, Justice and Ghost.
Free to play counter. Fuck. He had a name.
There's probably a Mizume or a Dust Loop. Like, just go up the Dust Loop for Fantasy Strike.
The Dust Loop for Fantasy Strike.
But yep. The
Geiger.
character was always known for his bullshit zoning. And now he's back. Now he's back in full force in 15, and for the first time that they've done for this game, they gave a very well detailed character breakdown of what he does. Like it's really good. So I recommend actually looking that up if you're thinking of picking the character up.
That's nice.
Yeah, he looks really cool. And if you want to try the free boss that he's gonna get, you'll get a free costume for him, his music.
I mean, you're not kidding. Full character breakdown.
Yeah,
nice.
Everything. Like they even do like small recommendations of like which version of moves you do in neutral. It's quite fantastic, and I feel like this should be like a mainstay not only for SNK or KOF, but like fighting games in general. Like of
Strive starter gets.
Yeah, Strive starter guides, I guess.
Yeah, but I feel like with what they're doing here with SNK, this is so much more detailed. Like,
oh, I see. Yeah, you can't really like. So there's a risk to that, right? Which is people find out that maybe an option you said is bullshit, or maybe an option you said like there's a better button for this thing you said. So like, yeah, I feel like the starter guides are in a place where they give you a very good overview of the character, but they don't commit too hard to saying do this in this situation. Maybe this does a little bit more. That's risky though. That's definitely risky. I appreciate the risk though. As long as you understand that things might change over time. Cool. KOF, that's KOF. DNF Duel, though.
I don't even want to talk about
DNF
this.
Duel. Ashra hates this trailer. I say it's fine.
Going from a good
This is
trailer
the
to probably
worst.
the most awful fucking trailer I've ever seen for a fighting game character. Holy shit, what were they doing?
Obviously
Like,
hitting buttons because it's currently under
it's like
development.
they
What's
just-
funny, this isn't even
they-
the release trailer.
God.
This isn't the play video that we're gonna get
God.
once you around release.
It's like they got a chimpanzee into a room and it just asks, here's the controller, press these buttons, and this is the result. Like, combos are constantly dropping, she's getting her ass fucking kicked. Like,
Bro, no. Let me tell you, this is the worst fighting game anything of all time. Like, that's
Damn,
why I'm at with-
anything of all time.
Wait,
That's
bro,
a lie.
like,
just call me based on some info on why this trailer is so bad. I want to hear it. Yeah.
All right, okay. So the big thing about fighting game trailers is that they chose to showcase the character doing cool things. And it's just like, hey, we brought this random person around. Hey, we need to show them something. Just play the game and just splice the footage. That's literally what the trailer is in theory, right? But then they're showing off moves in the game. And from like a fighting game player eyes, right? The people that are going to play the game, seeing stuff drop. I'm like, dang, that don't work. Why would I play this character then?
Right.
Why would I spend my money? So it's like, it comes off very like, dang, this character looks cool, but she ain't doing nothing cool besides the animations, and then the moves not even connecting. I'm just like, bruh, like, why y'all show this? Y'all should have just kept quiet another 6 years. Like,
Ended up gonna play Devil Advocate because I'm tired of hearing DNF shit talk, and I want to be the change I want to see in the world. I think she looks really cool regardless of all the combos dropping. And there is also an interview, if I'm correct, of them just straight up showing off of the moves and generally what they do that they released not long after this.
Cool.
So yeah. I also think this video is just fine for like an currently under development video. That's like a character that's not gonna release till 2 months later.
I mean, if you know all that goes into like making a trailer and all the approvals that have to go through in order to put something like this out, you start to wonder like, how the fuck did this get past like 5 or 6 people? Like, okay, well, whatever.
it's worse than DNF because you can turn off the combo trials and record them without the HUD. They could have did that. Like, they could have did that. It would have been better than
yeah,
this.
but
Like,
they might have not even had that. To them, the character's still in the development. She doesn't have a release date yet.
Again,
So-
2 months
yeah.
away, people.
Also, what
Here's-
is this? What is this, by the way? What is this? What is? What are we seeing here?
Yeah, so this is a new mechanic that they introduced in the developer
It's in
talk.
the interview.
Oh, this is
It's
why I have
basically
you
like
guys,
an
though,
insta-block.
so I don't
it's
have
basi-
to watch the interview.
Yeah, it's
That's
basically an insta-block.
Boop.
And you can. I think it does require some form of meter, I believe, and you can. It's just like another defensive option that you can use, kind of like a Strive insta-block. with
Oh,
the
really?
Consumes white health.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we're
Yeah, that was it. It consumes your white health. So
wait, but is it a timing thing, and then it consumes your white health by accident because you insta block?
I believe because it does consume it, the timing would probably be a little loose. But it in short, it's just another defensive mechanic for the game that is very small of. Besides guard cancels.
Just Call Me Best says that the guy that records the trailer is the English DFO community guy and is very bad at fighting games, but the higher ups won't let anyone help them get footage. This has been going on since launch. Okay.
Yikes.
That explains why all the character trailers are
weird.
so short, right? This is like a bigger
Yeah.
one than usual.
And also, yeah, like judging a game that's currently under development is always like something that you should keep in mind. But this is different. This is a fighting game. This is a DLC that you're selling. If you're showing stuff that won't work in the final game, might as well just not even put it out, honestly, because it's very specific. It's not you showing mechanics to a video game that's gonna be so much more than that. Is you showing a character that will not work the way you're showing it to be working. It's much different. So honestly, when I would defend a game that people
my
say
God.
it's bad because it's in development, I cannot defend the DLC that's been shown to have stuff that doesn't work, even if it's currently under development. Come on, like it is obviously a mistake, because if they intended the stuff to work, it would have worked at the end. Like they wouldn't have shown in the trailer if they did not intend it to work like that. So that's kind of weird. I don't know.
I think
Hey, Rene. Close
Yes?
your eyes. And think of lab code 21 for a second.
Oh
Yes?
no.
No, why? Why would you?
Okay, now open your eyes.
Holy shit! Wait, but that didn't cross up.
No, it's
At least
it's a
that's
true
it.
block. It's true block.
Also, there's much different game. Much different.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
It also
okay.
doesn't help that this DLC is coming out months, even a year after the games come out. Like
Right.
they were not ready to do DLCs like this.
They're ready to just release game, leave it
Yeah.
to whatever the fuck was gonna happen. But then like, oh shit, wait, money can be made. Fuck, wait.
Also, you know
Yeah.
what? Let's contact these companies and just we'll make the trailers for you guys. We'll figure it out. We'll lab.
I'm
It
down,
also
I'm
doesn't
down
help.
for that, but like the problem here is license holders. I want to say it's not ArcSys. ArcSys has done some fire trailers.
It's not ArcSys, and also it's not even being developed by them. It's aiding, so
Right.
they're the
So-
people we have to worry about.
Yeah, it's the
and
Marvel 3 guys.
Yeah, Marvel 3 guys. We don't have to worry about those guys making trailers. I think this is 100% DFO license holders, right? It's gotta be like them like not letting anyone have access to this except like the English community manager. Like you have to make the trailers because this build is like super restricted. No one can see it. Like just IP holders being overly protective of an IP and having that IP shown in a worse light as a result. We've talked about this with Naruto earlier today, and I think it's the same shit here. Every single time it's the IP holder, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, and for a game like this, like the guy's probably he can't even do much better because it's not even about being good. He's probably playing against the CPU because he can't do much about it. And then the combos turn out to be weird and the moves come out to be weird. What a weird situation.
Yeah.
It sucks to be a fan of this game.
Base also has info on why the DLC is happening so late, so that's cool. We'll get to that once you type it out. So I think that's good. But for now, we're gonna move on to Tekken 8. That Shadow dropped an announcement. Shadow dropped, maybe not the right word. They announced something right after Summer Games Fest, the main presentation. They weren't there, but they released this trailer afterwards, announcing a closed network test. Funny enough, Tekken 8 was not playable at Summer Games Fest, and I think it was very clever of them to do so. Because what was the main game of Summer Games Fest?
Yep.
Mortal Kombat 1. No matter how good Tekken is, it was going to be seen in a negative light compared to the new thing. So I think it was so clever, and like it needed so much foresight out of those out of the people working there to say we're not going to have it playable.
Yeah, unless Mortal Kombat really sucked, which we kind of knew that it's still a possibility, but we kind of knew that was not going to happen. So yeah, I agree. That was really smart of them,
and also like so risky because we still don't have a release date on this game. It's probably next year, and Mortal Kombat's coming out in September. So what we definitely know for sure is that Mortal Kombat it's much further in development than this game. So the comparison is probably not going to be favorable to Tekken. So clever of them to not have it playable. But they announced a closed network test. And in the middle of the network test, there was a shadow drop of a new character, Mr. Claudio. He shows up in here somewhere. I missed it.
Yeah, returning from Tekken 7.
I at this point, I don't know if it's smart to release Tekken and compete with the current state of video games and fighting games in general.
I think you have to. And
I say what? Yeah.
Here's the thing. Tekken is sold as much as the others on its own. Tekken is very successful.
Yes.
But I don't know if you need to compete with Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter at this moment. Because if you stay away from this ridiculous year, that is, video games, the quality of video games that's been released, even for fighting games, if you can stay away from that, I don't know if that's going to harm the game at all. I think if you manage to release the game before EVO and manage to get the game on EVO, that is already good enough. And this game is going to sell super well regardless, even if it releases after the others. If it releases on par with the others, yeah, Tekken is a very different game, but it's still a fighting game, and there's still crossover players between the games, and not a lot of them are going to be able to buy them both. And Mortal Kombat is looking super good.
I think, yeah, distancing your release date, it's fine. But I think the competition is unavoidable. Like, all these games are being built to have multiple season passes. They're going to be here for a while. All three of them are going to have to coexist within the same market, So competition is unavoidable. I do agree that, yeah, maybe, distance your release date from Mortal Kombat a little bit, and it feels like that's going to happen regardless.
Yeah, exactly.
Because of where the game is at.
Isn't Tekken coming out in 2024 though?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's going to happen regardless. But I do think it's cool that we have like this big three moment now with Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and Tekken happening.
What the fuck?
Yeah, especially so close to each other. It is really cool.
With all of them looking really good as well. All right, let's close this out with some more anime game news. Starting with, what the fuck happened at Summer Games Fest with Honkai? It showed up in there. I'm like, oh, the Androp's popping off, probably.
Yeah, it was mainly big thing here was to announce the game when it's going to come to PlayStation 5, which is the Q4 of this year. Along to show off 2 new characters. This one's coming in a couple days on new banner, Yukong.
Okay.
She has a bow. She does both things.
She does both things.
Yeah, and then the other one shows up later, Physical Unit. He comes next update? No, they're both 4 stars. So I guess they choose this time to be like, yeah, here's a 4-star video.
Okay. Do you know
beyond that?
Do you know anything about like cross save, cross progression stuff for PlayStation? Because I'd rather play games on the PlayStation, so I might just not even touch Honkai.
How about I say like they did it with Genshin? I see no reason. Honkai is just an improvement over. Eventually, yes, that is a fair point. However, they also fucking released PlayStation Genshin when Inazuma was out, and we're like a few months into Honkai, and we're already getting it on PlayStation. So I mean, they do things faster and better with Honkai, to the disappointment of many Genshin players. Couldn't name PlayStation 5.
Yeah,
that's Silver Wolf, new 5-star. You can wait.
Yeah,
you got a lot of content that's building up because you can actually play past events now. Regardless of how long it's been.
So I don't have to rush.
Nope, you don't have to be there for the most recent event. You just have a shit ton of content to play if you're not playing the game.
So the one thing I'm missing is banners, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck them. Nice. Ninjala Speaking of fuck 'em, Ninjala.
Yo,
I don't like this game. I'm
Let's
sorry.
go.
I'm sorry.
Fair.
Base transition. Fuck
Holy
yeah.
shit.
Fuck 'em.
Like, how does this
Evangelion?
game? How does this game
Evangelion,
keep
man.
getting these crossovers?
Yes.
It makes no sense.
I don't know.
I literally played for JJK and I was like, yeah, I don't like this game
Yeah.
enough. And went back to Splatoon.
I'm with you. That's what happened. It's exactly what happened. Yeah, Ninjala, another integration, man. Evangelion is the thing.
5 Ninjala fans out there. Congratulations.
Cool.
I don't like to be negative towards the video games, and maybe you guys like Ninjala, but it was definitely one of the worst experiences we had when playing crossovers. And keep in mind that we played PUBG Mobile on PC just because we wanted to try that out. And Ninjala was just, I didn't fight with that game at all.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man.
I think the game's cool. I think for my taste though, like I'm a bigger Splatoon fan, and it gives me similar vibes. And Splatoon kind of just offers more for what I like
See,
in that game.
That I don't get though, because like I get the comparison from an art style perspective maybe, but gameplay is so different that I don't get why you compare the two.
Well, the reason why is because the weapon types and the class feels very like kind of similar in a way, even though they function differently. It does give off this like split. The game itself gives off this very Splatoon-esque energy. So that's the comparison. The games are completely different though.
Good
So
point.
you're right.
Good point.
I have tried Splatoon, and Splatoon for me is so much more fun than this. But yeah, like it's just it is definitely a word game. But hey, if you like it, awesome.
And
'Cause,
before we close this out with My Hero Ultra Rumble, Call Me Base said that Nexon had zero plans for DLC for DFO. Thought people would be satisfied with the game after launch. DLC didn't even start being worked on until a few months after the first patch because Nexon didn't think the game needed it. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
I knew it.
Yeah, like everyone knew it. It was obvious. It made sense marketing wise.
Yep. With that, let's
didn't.
close things out with My Hero Ultra Rumble. So this was a while ago, but I wasn't here because we didn't do Around the Bush last week. My Hero Ultra Rumble did an event crossing over with My Hero Wants Justice. The first event is gone. Next event is going. They had some numbers saying, please note that each event period will feature a different reward, with each period requiring its own 10k participation. It had 26,000 players in the first event. On My Hero Wants Justice 2.
And this is a game that we've been mentioning didn't get quite of marketing behind it. It was just mostly, I feel like mostly it was content creators doing stuff with the game and just telling the people that this game exists. To have that many people play this, it's kind of crazy.
I do think Bandai as a whole is still like catching up on the whole games as service thing. I mean, we've seen a lot more games now being built to be supported over a long period of time, and we've seen changes in the company structurally to like accommodate for that kind of support over a long period of time. One of the places where they may be lacking right now is budgeting for marketing, because you need to keep marketing the game, and it feels like there's a lot of marketing going into a release, but then after the game comes out, marketing kind of dies down. There's maybe like a trailer here and there, but not too much.
Yeah, what they usually do is they make the games go on deals, like those discounts, be it digitally or physically, whatever. That's the way they treat their games. Like they have those anime sales, and they include the game on those sales.
True.
That is as much as they do, and that is kind of crazy. Because yeah, I'm not a marketing expert, but I believe that if you keep marketing your game, it will still keep selling, especially when the anime is still ongoing. This is My Hero. My Hero is still going. My Hero is still strong.
True. Yeah, I think Demon Slayer did it so cleverly when they released the balance patch at the same time as the new season coming out. It's like
Exactly. Yeah.
like revamp the game. Balance patch, sale, and the new season. They timed it all together. Very, very clever. And finally, also on My Hero Ultra Rumble, a message from the producer who said, thank you to all the open beta participants. So thank you for filling the form. We're going to share like a blog post with all the data that we collected, just like they did last time, which is great. So out of all this entire message, I think the big news here is we are very grateful for the 580,000 players that downloaded the game, and our development staff is getting very blah, 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 blah. So like 500,000 players.
Crazy.
On like
Crazy
just a
amount of players.
PlayStation beta.
On
Damn.
just a PlayStation beta, I barely saw any advertisement.
It's crazy. It's kind of crazy. It just makes me hopeful that this game will succeed. And I think, apart from the whole map situation that we've talked over and over, it really deserves it. So, and I think that if the game finds its success, even if it releases without a map, it's possible that we'll get new stuff because of how it seems that the game is being well received. People are coming back after a few betas. So yeah, hopefully it's not too late. This game seems like it's going. It's on track to be successful.
Yeah. For comparison, both One's Justice 1 and 2 sold 500,000 copies too.
I thought it was 500 copies. That was because that's bad. That's a bad number. By the way.
I think actually I don't think One's Justice 1 sold 500,000. I think One's Justice 2 sold 500,000. One got close, I think. But that's I'm working from memory here. I don't quite remember.
Okay, two things. Obviously, this is not purchases. This is 580,000 players that downloaded the free game. So it is still different from, selling. And also, 500,000 shipments. That doesn't include digital sales.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's different.
And it's talking about the first game or the series?
I think the game sold much more than that, if I'm being honest. I've seen news, but I might be wrong.
This was the news. Like this is the one news that I remember with this number. And to celebrate the milestone, it went on sale. Yeah, true.
Here's the thing. Both of those news say that the game has moved over 500,000 copies. That means shipment. That does not mean sales. That doesn't even include the digital sales. So that's a weird thing. That's a weird way to put it. I think the game sold more than that. But I guess it's another thing we can't be sure because they don't tell us anything for my hero.
Yeah. They didn't even mention the second game. Okay, well.
Yeah, kind of crazy.
Might not happen. And anyway.
Is the one I sent you that the 2.5 million sales?
Did you send me a thing?
I'll put it in premium live.
My Hero One's Justice games hit. Okay, so this is both of them combined.
Yeah, that sounds more true than 500 each.
Yeah. I don't know who Go Nintendo are, but that's the news. Okay, with that, we made it to Q&A. We're gonna be, just watching me playing the producer, one of the producers of Mortal Kombat in the background, while I try to figure stuff out with Sub-Zero. This is before I did that hype combo, so I started to figure some stuff out, but maybe not too much. Almost finished that. That would be hype. And let's go into questions. So I'm looking at chat. I'm looking at no mic voice. If you guys are in the voice chat, you can also ask questions. Yeah, just go for it.
Did you lose or win this match?
I think I lost most of them.
Okay.
It still feels Mortal Kombat, you know? I still like... Oh, this is kind of stiff if you don't know what strings into what.
Yeah, I see. Yeah. But it is. I think that's where they shine. It's just they make a tag system and they make aerial combos work, but it still feels like Mortal Kombat, which is really cool. And I'm hyped to start seeing those tournaments again.
How saucy was MK? The most fun I've ever labbed in a Mortal Kombat game. Ever. By far.
Love hearing that.
Did you notice anything with the subbing in Storm? Is it still the same? Still the same? Subs are exactly the same. Did you play Sonic at Summer Games Fest? Yes. How far into JoJo Part 7 are you right now? There were like a family of 3 brothers and they could magnetize you or something, and Mountain Tim showed up, and I'm around there. I finished the arc with that family that could magnetize or whatever. Demon Slayer ends tomorrow. Gonna catch up to the episode? Nah, I'm caught up already. let me pull up some trailers for games that I've played at Summer Games Fest, and I'll talk about all of them. How about that? In the meantime, keep the questions coming. Okay, so what's the fucking name of that Sonic Superstars? Demon Slayer ends tomorrow in is not Lisfaris? What's the name of the... Okay, Lisfanga? What's the name of this game? There it is. It ends in a 1 hour special, so it's a big one. Also this... Get these posts. They're cute. They're very cute. How was your time in the US? I saw you met Max. Yes. Were there any other creators or events you were excited to do in the US for the first time? This was the big one, you know? As a creator, you dream to go to E3. There's no E3 anymore, so like this is kind of the E3. So I think this was definitely the big one. I do want to do Evo at some point. But I don't want to just do Evo as like a player. You know? I want to do Evo like... It's either like a VIP or a commentator or something like that.
How did you find Sonic?
Yeah, I'm typing some trailers and trying to go through them one by one at some point. What's the Disney game? Disney game. Nope.
It's a Disney game.
They're very specific.
This one. Illusion
I don't
Island.
even remember what we were talking about.
What else did I play? I played Fae Farm. Not much to talk about here. What else? Can't talk about Blue Protocol. Armored Core. Can talk about Blue Armored Core. Can I? No, I can't talk about Armored Core. Embargo was like 2 days ago. For real? Vativita got the fucking thing? Okay, they just sent him the okay. No, that's cool. No, just give it to Vatividia. Oh wait. No, I guess that's just the B-roll. I tried scanning the B-roll for Armored Core that they gave us, and just didn't open any of it. Anyway.
I guess it's more important to them than it is to us, because as you can see, 1.2 million already.
It's not the Disney card game. No, it's a platformer. Let's see. I think that was it. Armored Core, Sandland, Naruto. That was Bandai. Blue Protocol at Amazon. Mortal Kombat at Warner Brothers. I didn't see anything at EA. I didn't see anything at Square. Then on the main hall, Lisfanga, and yeah, and I guess these four. Okay. Let's start with Sonic. I played Sonic on a PlayStation 5. It runs like shit. I don't know how every single fucking time they make a Sonic game, it just runs like ass. I don't understand
One
it.
thing.
Speed, man. It's
Every fucking time.
Why did I just make one?
Well, how so? Like, was it just dipping in frame rate?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Everything else is fine. I mean,
smoke.
the physics are fine. I'm not a Sonic nerd, so maybe you'll have a problem with it, and I didn't. But the new powers, all of them felt like... Well, one of them was just a screen clear. I hit a button and all the enemies are gone. The other one, like the water power that they showcased, I think, here in this trailer. You pick up a water power and then you can climb waterfalls. I don't know. I don't like playing Sonic like that, because like you have to stop. You have to stop and then activate the power, climb the thing. Like the way I play Sonic is I run through the level as fast as possible. I will say though, like it feels like something's happening all the time. Like there's always like a rink that pops up that you can jump into. There's always like a little challenge that you can go into and like try to complete. And this challenge sucks. This challenge is literally press the button to swing, and you press the button to swing, and you keep doing that until you reach the ring. Like there was no challenge whatsoever. This one is tough. I like this one.
This one is a classic.
Yeah, this one is rough.
Sonic 1,
and like,
and
as you can see, like you have down and up. Like it changes the gravity, changes the direction of the rotation too. Like you constantly have to be hitting those or not hitting those. There's a boss fight at the end of every level. The mechanics felt fine. There's the screen clear power-up.
How...
Good,
So
number one
you
be
played
like-
Sonic Mania, right?
Yes.
How different did the power-ups feel from Sonic Mania? Because I believe one of the things I loved about Sonic Mania was how it was an old school game that added new mechanics on, if not each of the levels, some of the levels had new stuff. How does it feel compared to that?
Yeah, it's kind of that. You know, that's kind of what they're going for again. Not only with like the power-ups, but like with rings that you go into like optional places to get Chaos Emeralds and whatnot. It does feel like they've remastered the levels in ways that will feel fresh. I think the physics feel fine. The powers I tried were kind of lame, and you know, just the whole game running kind of like ass is something that takes me away from it. So we'll see. Maybe they'll fix it before release, but I've seen enough of these to think, I'm good.
It's not gonna happen. A game about speed having bad frame rate is not a good sign.
Yeah.
I will say this though. I honestly believe that not a single Sonic game is supposed to be played with speed. Because if you play a Sonic game with speed, are you really playing?
Right.
The character's just going on its own. It's when you're going with the automatic stuff and you know, going around, or when you know the levels by heart. Like when you know the levels by heart, sure, you can go about that way. But like when you're playing a game, a level for the first time, you're not really speeding if you want to not die, you know?
Right.
So I'm kind of fine with that.
Smoke says that in general, the outlook of the game is positive. I'm not surprised, honestly. Like I think the game is fine. I think what it's trying to do, it's cool. I just maybe like this is sort of like the way you also feel towards CyberConnect 2, where like how many of these have we done at this point? Like why are we still fucking having frame rate problems? But it's on top of it, like this is a throwback Sonic game, you know, back to 2D. It's not like you're rendering, like there are tricks to hide shit out. It was on a PlayStation 5. I didn't play this on a Switch, you know.
Yeah, there's no reason. There's no reason.
That to me is just so off-putting, and I think games are getting better and better, and Sonic is falling behind again. So I don't know.
And it's weird because it seems like they're all over the place with that stuff. They release Sonic Generation, game is super cool. They release Sonic 4, it sucks. They release Sonic Mania, what a fucking good game. And now like Sonic Forces, I don't know about that one.
Frontier
and now
was
this.
fine.
What's crazy about hearing you say that is that from the Sonic community side of things and just everybody that people don't know what they want. It seems like Sega doesn't know, nor does the fans know. So they're just throwing stuff out, and it's like some are good, some are bad.
People generally loved Sonic Mania, I think.
Yeah, Sonic
My
Mania
idea,
is
at least.
good.
I did not expect to play a Sonic game that looks like this, picking up a PlayStation 5 controller, and like doing the spin dash, and on the first jump frame dips. Oh, really?
Ugh.
Okay. All right. That's what we're doing. Sure.
That's not. Yeah, that doesn't work.
Not crazy frame dips, but like enough that it's noticeable, and you go, ugh, okay.
Yeah, it is a game about speed, so you're gonna notice it. It's gonna be
this
annoying.
smoothness isn't there. Anyway, Lisfanga, by far the best surprise of the show. I got to play the demo the guys that had over there. It's so cool. So basically the concept is there's a top-down hack and slash. You have two attack buttons. One is for the shield, one is for the blades, and you can kind of combine both. The shield usually stuns, and the blades usually deal damage, so that's how you balance your combos. But the top-down, where like you go through a level, you fight, and then you hit a button, rewind, and your clone is just doing that stuff. So you rewind, your clone is just doing that stuff. It's just doing that same run. And these are all like time trials. So like every level has an optional timer, a time requirement for you to meet. So I'm gonna obsess over that so much. Some really cool mechanics. I mean, you can see a few here. So these gates, the yellow and purple gates, you go through one of the gates, the other one opens. And like, so like this clone goes through this gate, which means this one opens. She goes through that gate, that one opens again. You got to keep that in mind as you plan out your route. You got these two guys, they are connected, so they are twins. You got to kill them both at the same time. There's just a lot of like enemy diversity, and it was only the beginning of the game, so it's gonna get a lot crazier too. I love this. I love this so much.
Cool.
And it didn't run like shit on a PlayStation 5. Anyway, I played this on the Switch, Disney Illusion Land, which also an awesome surprise. An awesome surprise. Have you guys ever played speedrunners?
Yeah.
Like the multiplayer game?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
this is not like speedrunners, but the movement feels exactly like speedrunners. But it's a Metroidvania co-op.
Ooh.
So yeah, it feels really good platforming wise. It has cutscenes, it has boss fights. It's 1 to 4 players simultaneously. And okay, now that I've told you it's speedrunners and you look at this, you can see it, right? But like as
Yeah.
soon as I
It
touched
reminds
it, it was
me-
like, holy shit, this feels
It
like
al-
speedrunners.
It honestly reminds me more of Rayman Legends.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah,
also
yeah.
they mentioned that. When I said speedrunners, they said, "Oh, I never heard of that game." No,
Even the animations.
The person giving the presentation said they haven't heard about it, but they did say like Rayman Legends was also like a big reference.
I like Rayman.
Oh, I can see.
I
it,
didn't talk to the
like-
guys that made the game. I think I talked to someone in PR. Co-op is going to be broken in this game because the game doesn't change. So you just have more people to do the same stuff. You can kill bosses faster, and also every time you hug each other, you get a heart back. You
Oh
just heal.
wow.
So it's a
Alright.
very
Spread the love.
yeah, it's a very casual platformer. It's Metroidvania. Tons of like really cool references in collectibles. But yeah, it's gonna be like a chill collectathon Metroidvania Disney Illusion Land. I'm super excited for this. I am 100%.
Play like my little
playing.
brothers. It'll be super fun.
Sorry, what will be what?
I'm gonna play with my little brothers, my family.
Oh, cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's
the rest
super
family.
co-op friendly too. Like they die, they just come back in a bubble, you know, and you pop the bubble and they're back. Like the hearts are separate, so they're not ruining your game ever. It's cool.
It's unapologetically no stakes.
Yeah.
Just no stakes in this
Yeah,
game. Yeah, which is fine.
totally. Fae Farm is Harvest Moon, Animal Crossing type game, where you build and you mine and you do these things. I think the big hook for this one is that it has co-op real time, so you just join any of your friends' worlds. You can create multiple worlds too, and be like, okay, this is our world that we built together, and this is my world that you can jump into if you want, I guess. That's really the big thing. Everything else I saw was, kind of par for the course for these games. You can travel to different areas, into the mines area, and if you want to fight against the monsters, you fight against the monsters. If you don't want to fight against the monsters, you can just make an invisibility potion and bypass all of them, all the materials for the invisibility potion. You get them without combat. Like they thought about that stuff. And yeah, there's a story. And it's one of those games that, I usually am not interested in, and I always end up playing because that's the type of shit that my girlfriend wants me to buy, so I end up playing them anyway. But yeah, co-op is a pretty good option. You're gonna have to have 2 different Nintendo Switches and 2 different games because it's online co-op only.
It's every time I see you playing Disney Dreamlight,
Yeah,
I'm like, okay. He doesn't have access to his console today.
it's not me, but I end up vicariously playing those games. Fae Farm is probably going to be one of those. We'll see, unless I can keep it hidden from her.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
The Armored Core, I believe this is just Bandai Namco B-roll from Armored Core. I saw a presentation, it was hands-off. I was not interested in this game until I saw that presentation, and they were like, yo, check out this boss fight. Oh, fuck! Whoa! From Software, okay. What are we doing here? And yeah, what the fuck?
That's kind of dope.
Giant robot fighting a giant furnace. The guy died in the demo. Like, and the producer kind of reacted in a way that tells me, oh, he hadn't died yet during these 2 days of presentation. So it's tough. It's a rough game. Lots of customization. You have like 4 weapons, 1 for each arm and each shoulder. You change the way your legs look, so it also changes your mobility. The customization felt like accessible in a way that I wasn't expecting in a mech game, because they're usually like pretty fucking obtuse about that stuff. But it felt accessible and also like so significant in a way where like they had like 4 different options for the legs, and each one of them just looked like completely unique. So I don't think you'll have like 1,000 options for legs, which is the kind of stuff that I always find obtuse. But like the 10 options that you might have will be like really significant. That's my expectation, at least.
It looks so sick. Like the way that he was just handling the melee combat right now, and the way that even though you're smaller than your opponent, it impacts you know, the mech. It's super cool, and the scope of this game too.
Yeah.
You can feel the size. You can feel
The levels
everything.
are
That's really
gigantic.
cool.
Like gigantic. Okay, so yeah. That's level back there. That's level. That's level. And you go, oh, what's down there? More level. We're just more level. And we just fly around, you know. You have... There's bars, like, you can't fly infinitely. So the guy is definitely spending stuff here that you'll have to land to recover at some point. But yeah, the mobility is great. The combat is great. The customization is great. I was not interested at all. And then I looked at and I had that FromSoft feel. Oh, when I saw that boss, I was like,
We're definitely gonna buy this.
maybe I'm into the mech game.
Unless it scores poorly, but it's not. It doesn't seem like it's gonna score poorly, so it's probably gonna be a buy for us.
And it ran so well, unlike Sonic. It's crazy.
Hey, don't compare. Look at the graphics, man.
Oh yeah,
Sonic
true. This
on
looks
another
worse than
level.
Sonic, of course.
Yeah,
This,
yeah.
This is what you wanted those Gundam games to be. I thought about it and I told it to everyone at Bandai. Like, you will never make a Berserk game because Dark Souls has covered that, and now you will never make a Gundam game because nothing will be as good as this. And they said, like, actually, the Gundam team kind of works separate from the rest of Bandai. They have their own Gundam division. It's kind of crazy. I'm like, yeah, and these guys are making a better game than anything they ever done. So
That's fucking wild.
yeah. Yeah, this is... I'm interested. I wasn't before the presentation, and now I am. So this is great.
Cool.
Final questions before we get out of here. Main highlight from the entire trip from Summer Games Fest.
Video is up, by the way.
Nice. What, up on the channel? You uploaded it?
No, up on Footage Bridge.
Okay. Main highlights from the entire trip, I think just meeting the Japanese producers and Maximilian and Jeff Gersman. So just meeting a lot of my heroes, I think. That was the highlight, 100%. I took a picture with Greg Miller just to send to Rene. Because I'm not even that big of a fan. I mean, I like him, but I'm like, Rene's gonna dig this.
Yeah, that was cool.
You met Max? I played Mortal Kombat with Max.
Did you win?
Did we play for realsies? I don't think so. But if we did, definitely no. So the way
Did we
Summer
play
Games
for real, or did we option select?
Yeah.
What was that?
the way it works at Summer Games Fest is people had their appointments with Warner Brothers, and I didn't because I'm an idiot. So I just walk up there and like, can I make an appointment? And they're like, yeah, maybe tomorrow. We'll see. And then Max shows up and he's just like, dude, Mortal Kombat is sick. Like, he already had his appointment and he's just trying to get in again. Max has an understanding of how things work. Finds one of the blue shirt guys. He's like, that guy gets us past the front door. We walk up to the guy and he just says, how sad do we have to look to play a little bit more of Mortal Kombat? No catcher, no anything. Just play the game. Sure, just come in. And like, I went in before my appointment, and that was the first time I played Mortal Kombat 1. Was Kenny was there, Curious Joy, if you know her, and Maximilian. And Max sat with me on the station. He was showing me some of that stuff. So when it came time to my appointment, I already knew some of that stuff, which was cool.
Was Max aware of you? Did he know Globku?
Unconfirmed, probably not. I'm gonna say, but he's he's vague enough and like polite enough to make you believe that he did, but like not explicitly. So it's maybe not. Probably not. I'm gonna say.
Listen, it's I'm asking for curiosity because like he's not even in the same space as us. So.
Right. Our spaces cross sometimes, but
Very loosely.
Yeah, very loosely for sure. And there were a lot of people that like I knew of, but like Curious Joy was an example, and she also said I know of you, but and now we met, so that's cool. Kenny as well, Unruly on Twitter. Who else? Justin Wong hung around with that guy. I have a list of selfies. Hang on. I don't have to remember. Just pull my album. Justin Wong, Harada, Max, Jeff Gersman, Greg Miller, fucking Dan Reichert. And yeah, the rest is just the dudes at Bandai. The star of Jack Black in the Walk of Fame. Anyway, that's gonna do it, I think, because I got videos to review and we got places to be. So gonna hit the end stream button, and hope that answered some of your questions. Good show today. Good show, everybody. Good job. Good job. Give yourselves a hand. Thanks for showing up, Yaya. Also, Ender Up and Ashura, because I needed some of that stuff carried. Oh, look at all these moves. Look at all these basic attacks. You ready for the jumping attacks? God, I don't go over the jumping attacks here, do I? I'm just looking at like the ground moves. Oh, what can I link this into? Like, there's a list of jumping attacks, man. Oh, go. Yes! Ah! Yeah, I'm like figuring out what I can do after this pickup. And at this point, I had the AI on easy. It wasn't until later, and it was so cool of the devs to let me do this. Where like I'm labbing the combo. I'm like dropping and going into rematch. Oh, this is the Twitter clip. No, it's not. This is me trying other shit. Yeah, I just kept like hitting restart and retry, restart, you know. Start, restart match, and just kept retrying. And it was so cool. Like, they were so confident in their game that they were just like, do whatever you want. And, like,
do whatever.
That shows so much confidence. And that's when you know developers believe that their game will be good. And they don't have all these weird restrictions that IP holders do. So that's the lesson.
Bye.
Bye.